Hello and welcome to my vlog. My name is Nicholas Thickett and I'm hosting today from Calgary, Alberta. And this is my Setup 2.0 vlog episode 2. It's been an interesting start to this whole vlogging experience because I wasn't thinking I was going to get many people watching it until much later. And I had quite a few people email me over the night asking, what are you going to call it? And quite frankly, I didn't put too much thought into it because I didn't think it mattered because nobody was going to watch it right away. But here we are, and I don't know. I thought of a couple different ideas, and what I've decided is because this is about you guys, I'm going to go and put up a Google form with some of my top favorites, and I'll get you guys to decide. So between I'll go and let you know when it's going to be in the YouTube comments. Not right now, but later, and I'll also throw it up my blog. But thank you guys for reaching out. Didn't think that anybody was going to say anything. Practice makes perfect. We hear it all the time. It's actually quite annoying, but it does work because if you put that time into something, you start to notice little things. So even like this vlog, one of the biggest comments I got was my lighting sucked. So I changed my lighting. And that where I was sitting was too distracting. And they asked me to go sit somewhere else. I don't know. I don't think the spray foam yesterday was beautiful, but I didn't think it was that distracting. Mr. Piggy is a good looking fellow, so that might have been a little bit of it. But I hear what you guys said. Here we are. Today we're in my living room. And hopefully all this color isn't too much for you guys. I even wore blue so that I matched. Bonus points, right? But I want to tell a story that's a great example of how practice makes perfect. My friend Kay had a great learning experience last year when he decided that he was sick of personal training and that he was going to try something new. And the thing I love about Kay is that whenever he decides he's going to do something, he doesn't just dip his toes in, he dives full in. And so when he decided that he was going to go and do this new thing, which he saw one of his friends, Phil, that was reselling on Amazon, and he loved it. And he thought, hey, maybe that's something I should go and do because you have the freedom to go to parties and you have the freedom to go out and drink. I can't eat what I want. I can't do what I want because being a professional bodybuilder sucks. And so Kay, with this knowledge, decided that he was going to go resell something, but he didn't know what. And he wasn't really ready for the commitment of going on Amazon and being a reseller and blah, 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 which I get. It's a big ask. So what does he do? He decides that instead he's going to sell used lawn chairs or camping chairs, whatever you want to call them. And he hated how expensive they were during the peak season. And he always wanted one. Every time he had go out with people, he didn't have his own because he didn't want to get one yet. And they're always crap. They'd either break or they had nowhere to put your drink or they had so many holes in them or they were hard to open or they were hard to close. You name it, hated them. And we all have an experience with a lawn chair that probably points out to being true. I know I definitely do. And so what's he do? Waits to the end of the season, buys himself the lawn chair he wanted, but sees that they're on sale and that they're over 50% off. So he buys over 100 of them. Fast forward to peak season of the following year, and he decides to sell them. Kay is hustling. He's got them on Facebook Marketplace. He's got them on Kijiji. He had one other place, but he put them all these online, all the different Facebook communities. And so he had it out there. There are people calling him left, right, and center, and it took him months to sell. But that's not the point. You're probably wondering, was he profitable? And oddly enough, he says no. He said on paper, yes, he made on average about $10 a chair. But when you're selling over 100 of them, $10, $1,000. But it took him almost 6 months to sell them, a little under. And he said when you go and factor in, it took him time to drive them there, time to actually sell them. There's the no-shows. There was the gas. There's the wear and like you go on the list of other business expenses, and he said it was a failure and he would never do it again. But in this conversation, he was saying But what it did do is that failure transitioned him into this new learning. And he's like, I love this. I love selling. I love the game of working with people. And I love the customer service of when you help people find something they really, really want at a price that's fair and give them good customer service so the whole experience is good for them. He said, nothing beats that. And it's more than what he had got before at personal training. So he decided to sell used appliances. And this guy is killing it. And the practice makes perfect is something he has never stopped. And it's something I'm going to take into this vlog as well. And all my video editing eventually and everything that I'm doing is that he said every time he'd focus on one thing, just one. He would keep doing everything he was doing, but he'd pick one thing that he was going to get better. And he just dove in head first and he focused on until he get that one thing better. So he would lose at negotiations. So he'd focus on how do you have a better conversation that both people are winning? Then he'd focus on how do you go and make sure that people actually show up for appointments. And it was great. And now he's running a full-time business that makes him more money than he did before with the flexibility to do what he wants. And that's something I really respect about the guy. Okay. Next, we need to talk about one that I really hate, but love at the same time. What do people expect me to look like? You know, color down, color up. No, it's what it comes down to is what do people trust? If you go to a doctor's office, if you go to a lawyer's, if you go to any professional, their offices, their dress, their mannerisms, how they act, how they talk, everything changes drastically. And we learn with every experience with those professionals that that's what we should expect of them because people like them act like that. And so knowing this, and it's probably not a new concept either. We always have it right in the back of our minds, but we forget. And where this has plagued me and why this has become such an issue is that I ignored it for a long time. I knew it existed. I had seen what happens when you understand it and use it, but I ignored it because I didn't care. Working in management consulting, business consulting, business development, higher end roles, you're expected to wear a suit. And I realized when I started wearing brand name tailored suits, the people treated me differently. And that I had doors open for me that never were before. Same when I also lost weight. I had lost 60, 70 pounds, and the way people interacted with me, men and women, it was a completely different experience where I felt more in control of my life because I was getting judged in a positive way. And so when I changed to a more casual look, stupid questions started coming up. And I call it stupid because that's what it feels like. Because when you have over 10 years of experience in a particular field, plus a track record that shows that you know what you're talking about, yet people keep asking you what you're like, where'd you go to school? I didn't go to post-secondary. I decided that I wasn't going to, and this is why. And you tell them your story, and the fact of the matter is you couldn't check that box, you're out. Get out, don't care, you don't qualify. Why? Well, you don't have the education. But there is no degree that's going to teach what I learned because what I learned is done, you get from experience. And just because I didn't go to school, reality is they didn't give a shit. I talked about it and I was willing to have the conversation so that they could understand what was, from my point of view, but they didn't care. And that, at the end of the day, was all that mattered to them, is that they couldn't check that box. So it's something you really, really have to think about. And it's something that I'm looking to change. And you'll notice that I'm going to go and play with different, how I do my hair, if I'm clean shaven, if I'm not. But I need your guys' feedback. Do you care what I wear? Do you care how I look? Does it make a difference to you? leave it in the comments below. Let me know, because this is for you guys and I'm curious. I'm interested. And if you want me to look at any of your videos and give you any feedback or help you, just let me know. Put it in the comments and let's connect. And I'm also going to put up a couple questions on my blog as well that I'll put a link in the description that are just 5 or 6 questions, maybe a couple more, that you really need to ask yourself so that you walk into situations knowing the rules that people are judging you by. Because if you know the rules, then you can play the game. And I like to think that sometimes I can change the rules so that I can win. But I think it was Mark Twain that said, you first must know the rules, then you can twist them as you please. And even though it's a metaphor, it is very true. You need to know the rules, guys, or you'll always be frustrated. But that's today. That's all the stuff that I'm working on. If I took on any more, it'd be too much. But thank you very much for watching. Please put your comments below. I'll throw a subscribe right here. If there's anything else that you can think of, please throw in the comments. This is for you guys. I need your feedback. If you have any questions, please put it down below, because then I'll make videos outside of my vlogs to answer those questions for you and maybe even do a live Q&A. Thank you. Bye, guys.